What do we know, everybody? Today, we get to put one of these guys on. It is a tank style, circulation style block heater. There was one that was installed in the feed truck before I started working there, and these ones you're supposed to install vertically. They installed this one horizontally just because it was easier, I guess. And, well, it failed. It'll get warm, but it will not circulate the coolant through there. So I'm going to go put this bad boy on properly today, and it is cold and windy. But that's all right. That's all right. We can close one end of the feed shed and we can be comfortable as long as we're out of the wind. So let's head over to the farm and get her. All right, now we're back at the farm, and underneath this bad boy you can see that this thing was mounted horizontally, and it'll tell you right in the deal that'll cause these to fail. I think that was out of necessity, just where they wanted to put it, and they probably didn't read the instructions. But how this thing works is it'll pull water out of here. They'll heat it up, circulate it, and run it through this line and back up towards the water pump. Cause the thermostat to open, let it circulate all the way through the engine. Pretty easy, pretty simple, but it wasn't doing that because it failed because of how it was mounted. So I got my lines pinched off. I'll go ahead and pull those off, put the new one on, and then figure out exactly how I'm going to mount the thing. So we'll see here, see how this goes. Alright, you can see that I got the hoses swapped over on this new one. And I got to have it stand vertical like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that band off of this old one and just bolt this thing to that. Because I really got nothing else to bolt to down here. It'll keep it the right direction. So, as you guys can see, I got that installed vertically now instead of horizontally. I understand why they installed it the way that they did. There's no real good place to bolt that to. In fact, what I ended up doing was cutting that stuff off the strap that they were using to hold the thing on, turned it, bent it down, and I just bolted a new one to that so it could stay vertical. Not ideal, but it works. And I really don't know why these things have to be vertical instead of horizontal, but I do know that they fail if they're horizontal, as you can see. But a couple of points that I want to make about this that they tell you in this whole deal if you're going to go embark on this on your own is they recommend flushing your radiator system before doing these so you don't get any kind of junk in there. And we flushed this last week. So that's not an issue right here. Next, they also recommend that you run this and get it up to operating temperature so the thermostat's open. And that way you make sure that you have no air pockets going in through that block heater. If you got air pockets running through there, it'll burn that block heater up. So keep that in mind. I've been letting this thing run for a while. I'm not going to plug the block heater in. I'm going to run it. I'm going to feed cattle tonight. And then we'll plug it in. And that way we can let it run till morning and everything will be just peachy. And on another note, I also kept the original cord on this block heater that I just put in. The block heater that was in there, they didn't keep the original cord. They cut the end of it off and wired up an extension cord onto that, and then ran it out the side to make it easier access. This one's not it's not hard. It's right out the front bumper. It's not hard to get to, but I understand why they wanted it out by where the hood latch was. But I wasn't about to go and rewire that whole thing when I know this is going to work. So keep that in mind. A lot of little things, but it's not that hard to do. It is actually a lot harder to put it on when you have to find all this stuff, especially on the International engine. Because then you got to find every little port that you're supposed to find to hook this whole thing up. This one, there was already one in there. The unit itself was just put in the wrong orientation. So this is pretty easy. Unbolt, hook the new one up, bolt it up, call it good. So, but at any rate, guys, I think I'm going to go do a few other things. I think I'm going to go start building stuff for a sprayer to go on the back of a side-by-side. So I'm going to cut this off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love making these things, and as always, I thank you guys for watching.